It's time for Fits and Starts!
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oops. Is that copyright infringement? Maybe.
Sure.
So, how are you, Gillian? You just sent me a very, very nice picture of Zero Fucks Given for podcast number 2, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is in reference to your attire, maybe your presentation. Is this what you were indicating?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I wore makeup and brushed my hair for the last one. But in my defense, I forgot we were doing this. So
there you go. That's the classic defense. Sorry, I'm 4 hours late for work, boss. I forgot it was a thing. And then they go, oh, well, if you forgot, why didn't you just tell us that?
Exactly. Human error. You know, you can't get mad at someone for genuinely forgetting something.
Maybe.
Don't forget it, maybe.
you reset the nuclear codes, didn't you, Jim? Oh, well, we can't say mad at you.
Funny.
But this is good. I was going to say it's good because that's what we want the podcast to be, Gillian. Uncensored, raw, unfiltered, unwashed. That's what we want.
I am unwashed.
Let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty of Gillian's washing cycle here. How often are you washing, Jill?
Well, I do usually wash once a week. Well, our shower, it's not been broken for a week, but our shower did break last week, and you just don't want a broken shower in the middle of a lockdown. It's kind of like the highlight of the day, isn't it? After Tesco, having a shower.
Yes, indeed. That's right. It's right up there with winning an Olympic gold and curing cancer in terms of, the human levels of enjoyment or achievement. But that's what it feels like. Yeah. But also, sorry, please.
You get to leave your bedroom and go to another room for a few minutes, and then come back a whole new person.
The lap of luxury. I do want to just cycle back for 1 second though. I don't know if you said you shower once a week. I think you might have meant. Yeah.
I fully meant once a day.
Yeah, because with the thing about Freudian slips is normally says so. Yeah, my brother. I mean my boyfriend. Like they normally instantly correct it, but that one you just you sailed right through it, which leads me to think. Maybe once a week. Maybe it's something in the middle. That's what I'm not saying it's once a week, but I'm not sure it's once a day consistency. That's what I'm going to say.
That's funny. I did, that's really funny. I did only wake up though.
So you did wake up like this? You woke up like
this?
I
literally woke up like this. I woke up about 40 minutes ago. Well, actually, I woke up this morning and I was awake for like an hour. But I was going to go, because I want to go to, this is so boring. I want to go to...
Bring it on. This is
I want to go to Dunn's, but Dunn's have that right, not Tesco, fucking stepping it up.
Okay.
Notions, right. Miggy, how are you? But Dunn's have that. They have the like carer hours. They're much longer than like Tesco and Aldi and stuff. So they're from like 11 until 1. So then I woke up at like 10 and I was like, I'm not going to be ready. So then I was like, I can't do anything until 1 o'clock. So then I went back to sleep.
There you go. But so Gillian, let's drill down back into this though. What's the longest period of time you've ever gone without showering, washing? What is your max time?
I don't know. You usually don't shower that much when you're sick, do you? So I'd say maybe like 3 or 4 days when you're just dying in bed.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't think I've ever reached a full week.
I definitely have. I definitely have. Yeah, for sure.
I love that you were like, will I say it? Will I not say it?
I was just trying to think if it's only been a week, if I can go 2 weeks. I was trying to think if I could go to... Back probably when I was in Malta now, this is something like that, when I didn't have to interact with people. And then I was like, with everything, I just get to a point where I'm like, wonder how far I can push this, It goes from being accidental to being like a challenge.
That's funny. I was talking about my shampoo yesterday because I'm out of it. But the one I buy costs like €11. And I'm like, that's just a lot of money.
Is that the one you're getting Duns? Is it, Gillian? Jesus Christ.
No, I get it.
All right, we get it. We get it. You're flush. You're loaded. Dun shampoo money, huh?
It's actually Boots, but I'm just saying.
Why does your shampoo cost 11 things?
Because it's just one of those ones that, like, convinces you. Well, it doesn't convince you. It just says it on the bottle. So then you're like, obviously, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah, so it's one of those ones for, like, you have all those ones that are like for dry hair, for colored hair, for greasy hair, for dandruffy hair. None of it matters, but the one I get is for greasy hair, and it's 11 fucking euro.
Have you ever had any hair other than whatever's happening here, like just long and hello? Have you ever had short hair or like a mohawk? Is what I'm asking.
Oh, I have. I put my hair in a mohawk for a play before. Did I show you that? Did I ever show you that? I'll send you the picture. It's really
definitely cool. Not. I would remember that.
Because my hair was like this length, and then it was just in a mohawk. It was mental.
That sounds cool.
It was sore getting that out. But it was class. It was really cool. And then I had like he like put a mohawk in the middle, and then I had two like French braids coming down the side.
Dope. That sounds amazing.
What
was
really
this
cool.
play you were in that you required that?
It was like a street performance that I was doing at my youth theater fucking years ago. And I was playing a baddie in it.
Okay. You were a baddie.
So he was just trying to make me look scary, I think.
I mean,
it was cool because I was wearing a suit, and then I was just like walking down the streets of Tralee, completely out of context to people, being like, "What the fuck's wrong with your one?"
That's brilliant. Just like, I guess
on Easter Sunday, it was great.
That's fantastic. Like you left whatever the rehearsal was. Just people are just like, I guess there's a new pimp in town from the future. I don't know. There you go.
I guess so. Yeah.
See, that's
cool.
People never think of time traveling future pimps, coming to Tralee. But why not? They don't always have to be in New York or Tokyo. That sounds good. But so you were a baddie in this. That sounds amazing. Plus, I mean, like, just the idea of you in a suit is funny as fuck by itself. Let alone with because you just like you'd look like, presumably, I don't know, I haven't seen the pictures. Maybe it was a well-tailored suit, but I cannot imagine you looking anything other than like a 2-year-old who has found their dad's suit and put it on, and it's like going like that,
No hands, yeah,
just the big floppy sleeves. So what was the story in the play? We know you're a baddie because you have of hair that goes up and a suit on, the two classic things of being a baddie.
I mean, obviously, I don't really, I don't remember the storyline. It was something to do with the future. I think it was kind of 1984-ish vibes,
Okay, all right, a dystopian kind of thing.
It was definitely something like where like we'd captured people and we were trying to force I'm pretty sure it was like this. What's the story in 1980? Like Big Brother kind of a thing. Yeah.
I was just okay. Yeah.
I think it was. I've done another play on 1984, and I can't fucking remember the story of it now.
I just want you to give me more details so I can work out how far away your idea of 1984 is from the actual book.
I've done 2 plays on it. Can't remember the fucking story.
There was the
second time.
Lasers and raccoons. That's in there, isn't it?
The dinosaurs came.
But like that's sort of the alternate reality, whatever thing, or what do you call them? A choose your own adventure game thing. I've been obsessed with this YouTube channel called Night Mind, which is he looks at all these weird online experimental alternate reality games things, or like TV shows and stuff. So he's got a new one. I'll send you the link to it, or one of, it's not his one, the one he was talking about. It's called Dad, which is like, it's like an American dad who's like a YouTube star who sings pop songs about being a dad, but he's also clearly like a mentally slow robot alien. It's really great. It's so good. It's so good. So I'll send you the things
Yes,
for that.
please. That sounds great.
But some of them are really super creepy as well. Some of the ones that your man looks at are like, this one's actually quite fun. Are like really just very, very odd. I went down like a rabbit hole and I found all these videos about, well, not all these videos, a couple of different ones that were linked off to each other about people who like wear masks of faces, women's faces mostly, but they're so realistic, but they're masks, and it's very like, what's the word? It's just so odd. Creepy Valley, what's it called? Something. There's some name for that. Where something, it looks almost human, which makes it creepier. Do you know what I mean? Like, like if you were wearing a monster mask, that's not creepy because I'm like, that's not, my brain doesn't think, oh, that might be real. But it's like when it gets uncanny valley, that's what it's called. When it gets super close, it's so weird, man. It's so odd.
Is it a full mask or is it just one of those face masks that everyone's wearing now?
Full mask. Like, yeah, but it's like, it just looks like a human face.
Oh,
you know?
God, that sounds awful.
Plus, I'm pretty
that
sure
sounds like if I saw that, I'd never sleep again.
Dude, this is pure. I said that's exactly it. I sent it to my brother. I was like, check this out. It's interesting because it's kind of connected to maybe some of the ideas you have in your story, but don't look at it like at nighttime. Like, it's got to be in the middle of the day when you're just feeling like the best. Like, you can't even be feeling like a little vulnerable. And then, of course, I said to him, he was like, oh, and then he didn't listen to my advice, looked at the shit, and he was like, oh, yeah, I love this shit, and then sent me like a bunch of links to other stuff. I was like, of course you do.
Oh, God.
Of course you love it, you lunatic. But there's this one lady who's one of them is like a Japanese, I guess, guy. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But he makes these masks from scratch. Like, he paints them and decorates them from scratch. And it like sometimes out of silicone and sometimes out of like other masks. And it's so funny too because it's like translated from Japanese into English in a way that's also like, you know, not perfect, which adds an extra layer of weirdness to it. And he's like reading out stories he's written about people who wear masks. It's next level creepy. It's so great. But then there's this French lady who is like a makeup artist and something else. And she has a channel where she just goes around basically wearing a mask of her own face, like out in public, like getting her nails done and things like. It's so odd. But she's into it, but she like is like sort of, I don't want to say the other guy is super creepy, but like she just seems super happy about it. She's like, this is great. This is another expression of my, like, she speaks in French, so I'm only getting bits and pieces of it. But she's just like, yeah, you know, this is so interesting and fun way to experiment with beauty. But it's so weird, man. It's
also a super.
It's great.
If you're going to wear a mask of your own face, I mean, that's like.
It definitely looks like it's her own face in her case. Yeah.
But then she's just saving so much money on like makeup and shit. She just puts a mask on. I mean, that's literally what we're doing anyway. She's just not paying for it every time.
See, there you go. So maybe she's got a point.
Because when people are putting on their makeup, they're like, oh, I just need to go put my face on.
Put on my face, yeah.
Or exactly. She's literally gonna go put her face on.
That's true. I mean,
I did not put my face on.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get one of those masks.
I was gonna say maybe we could get one done up for you. That'd be great. Then every time it's podcast time, you just plop that on. Just
put the mask on.
And then if you can't make it right, we'll get masks of each other's faces as well.
Yeah.
So that if you can't make it, I'll just video. You know, we'll just split screen it so that you're talking to me, but it's actually just you wearing my face. Or we could get masks of each other's faces. I don't think this is something that's available, but it should be.
It should be.
And, you know, it'll be like an old school face swap, you know. We'll just actually have each other's faces and get to see what is it like to look through Gillian's cutout rubber eyeballs or whatever it is. See, this could be a good idea for merch, Gillian, you know. Like three or four podcasts time when we're massively successful.
When
like,
we are rolling in it.
People sell T-shirts and, you know, coffee cups. Fuck that, man. Next level. We sell our faces. Fucking rubber Alan faces, rubber Julian faces. Don't have to worry about washing your hair fucking once a day then, yeah? You just got to mop it on. You just tuck your greasy hair up inside the mask. Fantastic. We can start shaving your hair. I can't do this, but we can start shaving your hair off and, like, you know, weaving it in. And then we weave like it's like a voodoo doll. You know, if you have a voodoo, you know this, you know, you're a woman. A voodoo doll when you want to, you know, commit acts of hate crime against somebody who's wronged you romantically. You tie a hair, you sew a hair into the doll. of the person. So that way, when you stab the doll, it works. Without the hair, it doesn't work. It has to have
Right.
one of
Has to
their
have the
human
hair.
hairs. So, in order for our fans to get the full Gillianified experience, we'll have one of your human hairs per wig.
Mm.
Like, we're not
Mm.
fucking shelling out a whole head of Gillian hair. That take
No.
months to grow back. My mind now
Yeah.
is you're just like, it's just like a field of your heads growing. Yeah, we just do that, and then people can feel embodied and connected to you through, ironically, embodied through your head as opposed to him headed through your body. But you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah,
That sounds great.
this is good. This is
I
a good
think
plan.
that'll sell out, you know.
Get onto that. I'll have to get onto that Japanese gentleman. Did you finish Fight Club?
No.
No, of course not. Okay. All right. So
Start watching Prison Break.
oh, that'll suck your life away. Yeah, it's good. But you
Have
said
you
it
seen
won't,
it?
because I watched it way back when it came out a million years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
like a million years behind.
I mean, that's quite far back. Like, my mom is more up to date on her television watching than you. In fact, actually, she's probably more up to date than
And
me
that's
as
not
well.
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only on season 2.
The first 2
Good.
seasons are very good, and then it kind of like by like the 5th time they've broken out of prison and like been locked back up again in the prison, you're like, lads, like, if you put so much planning into the getting out, if you just had a little bit more planning on the staying out, but then
Yeah.
they'd have to just change the name to like Prison Staying Out.
Yeah, so like
So.
I don't know anything about it, obviously, when I started watching it, and then when they
Spoiler alerts as well. Spoiler alerts
Oh,
for anyone
spoilers.
who hasn't watched this 14-year-old television show.
absolute spoilers, do not continue. Well, yeah, they break out in like season, like not even at the end of season 1. So I was like,
Yeah.
what happens for the next 4 seasons?
Yeah.
And
I don't want to give
yeah.
it away, but yeah, they're out for a bit, and then they might be back again.
So I'm like, because I absolutely love it at the moment. Like, I'm addicted to it. But I get so like, it's one of those shows where I'm like screaming at the telly to be like, can you just fucking run a bit quicker? So
That's
I had to
great.
stop. I had to stop binging it because were you
getting too
I was
flustered?
getting too stressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just it's too hard to watch it. Like, I was.
That's great.
Anyway, I do love it. It's great.
That's
great.
good. They're great. They're good. They're good characters too. They're very
Yeah,
the word.
they're really good.
It's
really
like
good,
it's very well acted, and at the same time, it's very two-dimensional or something. But there's something very nice about that I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, this is probably real soppy, but what I really like about it is like how, because they're all men, they're all in prison, but it's still like really like vulnerable or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
They're always
yeah,
crying. They're always hugging each other. They're always like, I trust you. I trusted you. And I'm like, that's lovely.
Yeah. It's fun. That's
Yeah.
true, actually. Yeah, it's very man love. But see, that's very popular these days, Gillian. Being a vulnerable
true.
man. You know, have you listened to
Very
modern
true.
music? It's all about feels. It's all about how these hoes broke my heart. You know, that's what it's all about. That's modern.
It's all about feeling.
Starts with Prison Break. You know,
Yeah.
it does.
They all
does.
they all watched Prison Break and were like, this beautiful man.
That was it, you know. Little Uzi Vert was back in the day throwing on Prison Break, and he was like, "It's touched my soul," and now he's
Yeah.
altered.
I need to write some songs.
You know,
Yeah.
that's great.
I think it's great.
So you're saying, do you find more I don't say vulnerable, and it sounds slightly pejorative. Do you think men who are more in tune with their emotions are more attractive? Because you're sort of very, I would have assumed, Gillian, that you're more old school in the sense that, you know, you'd hate for a man to show any kind of emotional vulnerability because it would mean he was a pussy and he should be killed by a gang of angry people. That's how I would have assumed you felt.
I mean, obviously. I don't really know. I guess.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Go
I've never
flick
thought
back
about
through
it.
the old. Well, what I'm saying, Gillian, is I'm not talking about Prison Break guy or whatever. I'm saying go back into your back catalogue. You know, go flick through your Dickadex or whatever, right? It's all dongs, you know. You flip through.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was a big one. Flipping back through their Dickadex, like, and just think: are you more attracted to, you know, conventionally masculine, aka never talks about their emotions until they have a massive outbreak of violence, or are you more attracted to men who are
The more sensitive type.
sensitive?
I would say more masculine. Keep your emotions to yourself.
Okay.
But I would think that's also society's fault. I don't think there's that many.
Surprise, surprise, Gillian's managed to flip it back around and blame society. How exactly has the Taoiseach made you gravitate towards more emotionally distant men? Do please feel free to elaborate.
Because I think it's only in like the last few years that people are like, men need to talk about their feelings more. It's okay to have a feeling.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying you also picked up on societal cues saying that was not okay or attractive in a man. You internalized the same narrative. Huh? Yeah. Maybe so.
Maybe.
Why the hesitation, Gillian? Why are you hesitant? Is your new boyfriend more emotionally available? And you're like, oh fucking, I don't want to say that now. That's what it seemed like to me. I think you went back into your head and you were like, little sugar dick is actually a nice guy, and then now he's going to hear me saying, I want a bad motherfucker who's going to slap me around and tell me what's what.
Yeah, he is. He's really nice.
But would you like him more if he was trying to escape from a prison and had a fellowship of man with his inmate brothers?
I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think I'd want a criminal.
You don't want a criminal, so you're not attracted to bad boys then, Gillian?
No.
Yeah, but maybe that's a different thing as well. Because I'm sort of connecting bad boyness with what you're going to do, and they go for you. With being emotionally distant. But of course, you could be a very emotionally available bad boy, or you could be a very emotionally available.
I would say that is what Michael is, a very emotional bad boy, even though he's not that bad.
So you're saying Michael, is a bad boy. I mean, they are bad boys. They're emotionally available bad boys, is what the prison mate boys are, you know? That's what the modern woman wants. They want. Yeah. That's what that's what fuckboys are going for. Like that's the plan. You know, you want to be an emotionally available bad boy. That's what women find attractive.
I think women just want to be able to have a conversation with a man.
Typical.
I'm sorry.
Ridiculous expectations. You know.
I know.
It's never enough for you, is it?
Never.
Have a conversation with me. Don't be emotionally abusive.
Sure, don't I like you and buy you chips?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a conversation with you.
All take with you people, isn't it? Take. But but Ireland tends to be on its own kick. So do you think that's true in Ireland? Do you think emotionally available bad boys is the current now? And you're very down with the kids. You're in touch with the youth. Do you think that's what Irish women are looking for or not? Because sometimes, arguably, I'm not saying it, but sometimes people think that Ireland tends to be about 1, 2, 27 years behind the times.
Yeah.
So where are Irish women at in terms of their attraction levels to emotionally available bad boys? This is the question.
Emotionally available bad boys. I would say I don't know if there are very many emotional available bad boys in Ireland.
Okay.
I think because
maybe Irish women want them to be more emotionally available, but they're not able to do it for whatever reason. They don't seem to have that capacity.
Yeah.
But do you think if they could tap into that, they'd be getting, they'd be more, they'd be attractive. Like, but not to you, you see, not to you. You don't want an emotionally available bad boy. You want to watch them. You want to watch them work out in Prison Break. You're just like, you'll have fantasies about emotionally available bad boys, but you don't actually want one. You want an emotionally distant good boy. That's what you're really looking for. That's what I want. That is. I think that's what Yeah, I think that's what Irish women want. They want emotionally distant good boys.
But like, yeah, I don't know if it's even like emotionally unavailable. I just think people like in Irish people just want like a fucking hurler or something, you know?
You think it's not as nuanced as that? It's just by like,
No.
it's just by like.
Do you play
what's the
for
word?
county? Do you play county? Do you?
That's great, man. I love that my sort of my oversimplified condescension description of what women want isn't oversimplified or condescending enough. You're like, no, Alan, you're overthinking it. They just want a hurler. Are you a
They just want a
guard?
hurler.
That'll
Can you
do.
get me into Croke Park and can you get me into Coppers? That's all they want. I'm joking.
No, you're
I was joking about the Coppers part. We're all
Anyone
too
can
old
get
for
into
Coppers
Coppers.
now.
Anyone can get into Coppers.
I actually saw a sign outside Coppers a few days ago. Like it's like they like drew, like they painted on the bin outside Coppers.
Okay.
And it has like, you know that why do birds suddenly appear? But it has like, it's written why do, and then the birds are like drawn on a electricity line. So it's like why do, and then the drawing of the birds, and then it says
cute.
suddenly appear, right? Really nice. But someone wrote over the birds and said crabs, and I just thought it was very funny because it was outside Coppers, and it was like, why do crabs suddenly appear? You're like, because you went to Coppers.
Coppers.
That's why.
That's why. Home of the crab. See, that's good though. It's a very nice piece of artwork, and it's also a very good joke. So I appreciate.
Yeah.
I appreciate both.
I laughed. I enjoyed it.
Would pass by bin again. 4
Yeah.
stars out of 5.
Would recommend. Yeah.
Very good.
Did you watch Normal People?
No, I haven't watched it. This is gonna. I don't want to spoiler alert, but this is going to become a running theme with me and you and everyone else. People keep telling me to watch shows, and I'm like, that sounds brilliant. Never going to do it. I'm not going to watch it. I will eventually, but it'll be. I mean, this is coming from. I presume at some point in the last 10 years, someone said Prison Break's pretty good. You should check that out. And you were like, yeah, I'd get right on it.
That's great.
You know, I feel like I've got another 10 years before you can actually get annoyed at me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Longer than 10 years. Prison Break's ages ago.
Prison Break is, I was very young when Prison Break came out. I wasn't very young. I was either like still in primary school or just started secondary school.
You were in your cot watching it, getting ideas about how to undo the latch and like, climb out. Prison Break.
Drawn on myself.
With crayons, drawn as like. In your head, it's like a complicated schematic, but it's just like looks like a frog, but it's kind of squashed. You know, it's like because you can't draw properly. Like Prison Break.
Just keep looking at staring at my parents when they're asleep, like.
Like they're the warden.
Tonight we go.
We're waiting for him to go to sleep.
We need more time. We don't have time.
So you shouting at your like Teddy, you know, in the thing.
Yeah.
Like he's your brother.
The electric chair is my high chair. It's like a whole thing.
Very good. Very good. I just love the idea of you having a little teddy bear called Lincoln, you know? Isn't that the name of the brother? Link. Get out of here. I love Link. A meathead.
That's really funny.
Great. That's the other great thing about the show. They all talk like that. They all whisper talks, giant voice.
It's so dramatic.
It's gritty. Everything's gritty.
We gotta dig that hole tonight.
We've gotta do it.
We gotta do it tonight.
We've gotta do what we've gotta do before we
I want that 5 million. Yeah. That one Veronica though, the one that Link was riding.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she wrecked my tits.
Yeah,
I couldn't stand her.
I remember watching it thinking,
hell.
But yeah, it's so funny because like you're with these two guys who are like, I don't know, Mike, let's get out. Like they're so two-dimensional, but then like when they have a girlfriend who's two-dimensional, you're like, I can't believe they're going out with her. She does nothing to her personality. You're like, there's nothing to do with these guys' personalities. That's like it's actually like a metaphor basically for like every relationship you're with. Like you're with your basic fucking bitch friends all the time. So then when they go out with some basic bitch fucking partner, you're like, they're so basic, but you just forgotten how boring your friends are because you spent so much fucking time with them. Like that's a perfect match. The person they found is the perfect match for them, you know? But that's a good theory. Yeah, you don't like the partner because the partner reflects how boring the person is, which reflects how boring you fucking are.
This is so true.
Yeah, that's,
just everything she did drove me stupid. Like
she just looks
the
like
worst.
she has a face now. I think back in the day, I would have said it was a very punchable face, but I won't say that anymore because you're not allowed to hit women anymore. So she doesn't have a very, or shouldn't have ever. Oh, see, nearly got caught in the grammar there, huh? But so I'd never say that she has a punchable face, but I would say she has a very hit me in the face with a big inflatable hammer looking face. You know, because that wouldn't hurt. You know, and them big inflatable hammers you see at sports stadiums, that's the perfect thing for her face now.
I think that's why I'm afraid of clowns, or the big inflatable hammers. Did I ever tell you this?
No, but please do.
I was at the circus when I was really young. I was like 5 or 6. I don't like that now at all. I was at the circus, and I was sitting. It was just a shitty circus, like literally just a clown. It was in their like tiny fucking community center. And I was
it wasn't Duffy's Circus or one of these.
No, it wasn't one of the big ones. It was just I don't even know if he was legally allowed to be there.
You're telling me this was an unlicensed clown?
No, I'm joking. But I was like super young, and we were like my whole class or whatever. We were all sitting in just outside the ring, and like we were sitting on the ground just outside the circus.
Is
ring
this
thing.
Indoors? Is this in a big top or in a hall? Or what?
No, we're just in a hall.
Okay.
Just in the hall. The more I talk about this now, the more I think it's a fucking dream as well. But anyway.
This is another dream. But yeah, please continue as if it's real.
But then so he's playing musical chairs with us. So he got like a few of us to go into the ring or whatever. And we were all like playing musical chairs. But if you didn't get a chair, he ran after you with a hammer, a big inflatable hammer, and then he like bait the shite out of you. So I think that's why I'm scared of clowns.
Not sure he bait the shite out of you. I don't think he beat you within an inch of your life.
Yeah, with an inflatable hammer.
But it hurts when you're a baby, though. I used to love them hammers. I don't know why. I had a big American one.
I haven't seen one in a long time. They used to be around everywhere. Was that just because I was a kid?
Oh, you mean as a child, your antenna was always just up looking for an inflatable tune of some sort. I know what you mean. I feel like there was a heyday for inflatable hammers, and I'm going to say it was in and around 1997 was about the peak for the inflatable hammer.
Make sense.
Don't know why that is, but I fucking, what was this? Was the World Cup or some shit, 97? I just remember there being a lot of hammer action back then. I think people moved on to other inflatable items, you know?
Maybe technology just got better.
Like
they didn't need the hammer anymore.
I was gonna say what replaced that then though? What replaces the hammer in your technology's improving? Like
I don't know. Tamagotchi.
That was it. People were just like, back in the day we used to go around with our hammers, but then when the Tamagotchis came out and that was it.
You're like, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. I don't need him.
Yeah, and the hammer's just in the corner like, I would live forever, but now it's too late. All deflated. Now it's too late. You abandoned me for your Tamagotchi. You fucker.
Were they banned in your school as well, Tamagotchis?
Tamagotchis. I think that by the time Tamagotchis came out, I was nearly...
You were 96.
96 years old. I was gone from school. Or the demographic for Tamagotchis was not my demographic, whatever you say.
You were gone from school? I was like...
I mean primary school or like, you know... Okay. I was maybe in the end of secondary school.
You were at the end of your second degree. That's what you were doing.
Yeah, that was it. I had my PhD I wish that was true. But here's the thing. Why were they hammers? Like, why not inflatable pigs?
That's true. I guess
flowers?
so I'd say you could, just so you could bait the shit out of someone and be like, I'm only joking.
Just so you could beat up children if you
can't
were a clown.
cry. It's a joke. It's an inflatable hammer. You can't be upset about it.
That's right, fucking girlfriend from Prison Break. Smash. You can't cry.
I need to move because I need to plug my phone in because it's going to die.
I thought you couldn't use your phone. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, now I had to take out my headphones, so I'm sorry if there's like...
We won't have surround sound Jillian anymore.
No. Okay.
Lovely. Very. Oh, this is good now. We got a new angle as well. We get to see the door to your epic room. Oh, I forgot that. You've got one of those bullshit comes with the house painting or pretend paintings of Brooklyn Bridge or whatever it is.
Yeah. It did come with the house though. That I need to stress that. It came with the house.
Yeah. That's fair enough, Gillian. You're bad, but you're not that bad. Like, you're not that bad.
Exactly.
You're not like goes out and sees that and thinks, fuck yeah, that'd look
No,
brilliant.
what I need. That's be great in my room now. No. I'll leave it here when I leave as well. It will stay here.
You're not going to take it like the little shampoo bottles or towels from a hotel. You're like, no. I have enough respect for this wonderful apartment or house that I live in that I'm not going to take the fucking £2 deals picture of
There's another one as well
sunset.
of like I think it's one of the buildings in New York. I can't really see it now, but I have that like hidden in my, it's not hanging up, but it's like a picture of like someone standing on the street and they're like looking up at all the buildings, like the real sky, like the skyscrapers. So you can just see like 3 skyscrapers and it's meant to be real artsy and cool or some bullshit.
And inspiring, I'm sure, as well.
Inspiring, yeah. So that's just hidden. I just took that one down.
Just got that jammed under a bunch of fucking wet towels and jackets and things in the corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. New York. That's it. Wow, amazing, inspiring. I love that. I love inspiring quote posters. That's good on, I like them on. Do you have any of them now in your Instagram feed, Gillian?
Live every day, laugh every moment, don't die too soon. I don't know the quote.
That's it.
I don't have them on my Instagram.
No, that's a pity. That's a pity you don't follow more inspiring people. Live.
I'm sorry, I don't have it tattooed on my fucking wrist or anything either.
Right. Live, laugh, love on this one, and the schematic to your cot on the other one. Yeah, in retrospect, this hasn't. Although, frankly speaking, the cot schematic would probably age better than the inspirational quote, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like, which one's going to make your children think you're less of a wanker, Yeah, I love that. I do love I like unironic inspirational quotes when I see people put them up. I just think it's very, it just tickles me, pressure. Don't put yourself under pressure, but know the pressure you put yourself under is what you need for the eye of the tiger to succeed. It's just, I love it. I love the idea of someone like looking at it and being like, fuck yeah.
Don't do anything but do everything.
Don't do but do some things, but don't not do everything, but do some of the not everything things.
A lot of them came out at the start of this pandemic because people were obviously like stuck in lockdown or whatever, stuck in their house. So then everyone was like, oh, now is the time to get super fit. Now is the time to learn to cook and like do all this shit. And then everyone like turned around being like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. If you need to sit down and eat fucking cereal all day, you do that.
Protect your mental health by eating your fucking body weight in chocolate and drinking
That's what you need to do.
An inflatable swimming pool's worth of wine every night,
With a straw.
If you need to binge eat or do whatever you want to do, like I'm not saying you're an asshole for doing that, but I am saying you're an asshole if you act like it's the biggest sacrifice any human being has ever made.
Because you're just sitting at home like.
Yeah, I am saying you're an asshole if you do that. Fucking pieces of shit. Like.
There was loads of those out as well, like people being like, oh, my life is so hard, this is so tough. And then there was loads of like things being like, oh, our grandparents fucking fought in the war. You're being asked to sit in your fucking couch and watch Netflix. We're just like,
I love it. I love it, man.
Happening?
But it's fun just to watch that. It's fun to watch inspirational quote, attack of inspirational quote, attack of the attack.
Yeah. It just doesn't stop either. It's just like, oh my good God. It's insane.
It's funny, man. Social media, huh? Isn't it great?
Right?
Isn't it great?
Everyone has an opinion.
Everyone has an opinion. They're all so important.
Yeah.
Cracks me up. What's the scariest thing that ever happened to you, Gillian? Not some fucking I nearly got sexually assaulted serious story, but something funny. You know what I mean? I was just saying, just the reason. Sorry, that was a little blunt the way I put that. But
No one cares about you being sexually
Shut
assaulted,
up!
Gillian.
Are you a victim? Shut up. No one needs to hear that. We're looking for lols. We're looking for funny stories. No. It's just like, I fucking, although I do actually love that when it happens to somebody else. You know, when someone's like, oh, you know, what's the scariest thing? And it happens to you. And then someone tells it like something, you know, me and my platoon were in Iraq. And you're like, oh, that's not what I meant. I was thinking like there was a spider in the bath, but turned out to be my friend's tarantula. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? Like it's they take it to a different category. Because you're a scaredy pants, but what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Besides the clown thing with the hammers, that's intense.
I was literally just about to say the scariest thing ever happened to me was when a different clown chased me.
Oh shit. The fucking puzzle pieces of Gillian's psychology are falling into place. So you're 5 or 6 when the clown in the circus beat you on the head with an inflatable hammer.
Yeah. So then obviously petrified of clowns. Absolutely terrified of them.
So when's this next clowning story occur?
I was like 17, maybe 16, 17.
Okay.
Do you know the Nightmare Realm?
That is, yeah, it's like the Halloween haunted house thing.
The haunted house thing. Yeah. So that started in Tralee. His first year of it, he did it in Tralee, and my sister was working in it as like the white woman, or what's she called? The white woman, is it? The white lady, the white woman.
Based on Ireland's current demographics, I would imagine most of the ghouls were the white women. But
the one from The Ring.
The one from the
with
ring.
the Crusade.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what her name is or what. I know what you mean.
You know,
She's
the white. Anyway,
black hair, white dress.
Yeah. Leanne was in the thing anyway. So then it was like Halloween night. And my dad was like, he was going into Collector, and he was like, "Do you want to go do we should go walk through it before we pick her up?" And I was like, "Okay," but then I was like, "If there's clowns, I'm not going near it." Have I not told you this story before?
No, man. This is great.
So then I was like, yeah, okay, grand, but I'm not going near it if there's clowns. And Dad was like, fine. So then like we pulled up outside, we went in to pay, and like it was deserted. Like it was like, you know, last rounds or whatever. There was no one around. It was just literally the one at the till.
Oh right, yeah, because she's about to finish up. That's why you're going to collect her. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So Dad was like, oh, like 2 of us want to go in or whatever. And he was just about to pay, and I like turned around, and the first thing that you come in contact with is a clown, and like he was just obviously just arsing around because there was no one else there. So then he started like fucking like looking out at us and stuff, and I was like, I'm not going in there.
Right.
And my dad was like, oh, it'll be fine. I was like, I'm not going in there. And he was like, grand. And he's like, I'm gonna walk through it. And I was like, fine. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait for you. But there was all like these ropes for like the queues between me and like where you start the Nightmare Realm, where the clown was. Gotcha. So I was just standing there where the woman at the cash register was, and I was like, I'll just wait here for Dad. Dad went in, the clown like scared him or whatever. Dad went like left his room, and then the clown started fucking with me, and I was like, I did not pay for this.
You get it for
I did
free.
Not pay to be scared.
Was he making his way through the queue thing, slowly snaking his way towards you?
Crawling over it and shit. And I was like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. So then I started crying, and I was like talking to the lady at the till, and I was like, you need to get him to stop. I am absolutely petrified of clowns. And then she was just sitting there, and like his name was fucking Tommy, and she was like, Tommy, leave her alone. Tommy, stop. Tommy, Tommy, stop. And I was like,
You were like, this is not the action hero I need. That's great.
Yeah. And then another clown turned up.
So it's like that scene when you were in Jurassic Park where he's focused on the one, and then out of nowhere, the other clown you didn't even know was there.
Didn't fucking know he was there. So then the 2 clowns, and then he got to like the last like rope thing, and he was just standing there like, and he just kept like, you know, moving his head, and he was just glaring at me. And then I was like, where's I was 16 or 17. I was like, where's Dad?
So clowns is your thing. So you think that's the thing you're most afraid of?
Yeah, I think I'm most afraid of clowns.
Yeah, fair enough. My dad's afraid of clowns too, which cracks me up.
Is
Like, because
he?
he's so not afraid of anything really. It's just, he very. I mean, he's not. Not in like a bravado way, but in just like throughout my whole childhood, like I can't remember him ever being afraid of anything, or you know, not even be able to make him jump. You know, like if
Yeah.
you went up behind him and was like boo, he'd just be like what? Like it just, you know, it never registered.
Yeah.
So then, like only when I was 20 something, we were going to this. I'm sure it was Nightmare Round or something like that. And he was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not. And I just saw this look on his face I'd never seen before, and I was like, oh my god, are you afraid of clowns? And he was like, I don't want to fucking talk about it. It was like finding out Superman's weakness, you know what I mean? And that it was a clown, not kryptonite. It's great. But I fucking.
I get
It's
that.
funny though. It's funny. I did a whole thing about clowns. You know that the whole documentary.
Yeah, I do. I listened to that podcast.
All about clowns, and it didn't freak you out, no? The audio.
No, it was
clown.
actually really interesting. That podcast is really interesting. But if I saw a clown walking down the street, I'd probably burst into tears and run away.
So funny, man. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's
So
such a like. So many people have that phobia. It's so weird. Like,
It's
did you
really. Sorry, please.
you didn't go into that in your podcast? Did you? You just went into like the history of like where they came from and stuff, didn't you?
Sort of. I mostly focused on the history, and it seemed, but
Yeah.
in the research stuff I did for it just seems to be like it's a combination of a few different phobias. One of them is the uncanny valley thing, like with masks.
Yeah.
Going back to that.
Yeah.
You can't see what's really going on underneath.
Yeah.
And then I think it's just that combined with like I think when you're exposed to, that was the other thing that, or the sort of mini theory that I'd come up with, because you look at clowns and you think, what fucking person ever thought this was a good idea for children? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're like, but actually like originally circuses were for adults. They weren't really for children in their initial incarnation. Like, you know, the idea, because probably because back in the day, the child would be at work. Get up that chimney, you! You're not going to the fucking circus. Somebody's to make money around here.
This is my night.
You knew, yeah, exactly. You go up the chimney now or you're not getting any fags. Go on. Like, you know. But I think that's one reason. So then, like, children got exposed to clowns later in life, generally, normally when they were adults, maybe not when they're adults. So then when they exposed little kids to them, they're like, oh, they'll love them as much as we do, as much as they love smoking and strippers. You know, like they didn't do that thing where like maybe it's, but it was a bit inconclusive though. The research I did on it was inconclusive. Other than that, it just seems to be a combination of a few different things. It is weird though how universal it is. It is weird.
It is weird. But yeah, because I'm not a big fan of spiders either. Like, I'd freak out if I saw a spider, but I would, like, I think eventually I'll like get the courage to go and fucking get rid of the spider. Whereas if there was a clown in the next room, yeah, if there was a clown in the bath, I'm burning the house down. Do you know? There is no.
What if it was a little clown now? What was it if it was a wee little clown the size of us?
That's
trying to run up the side.
With fucking 8 legs out of him, 8 big massive shoes, like.
that does sound terrifying. I think that was in. So I presume you've never seen It. So the clown Stephen King thing. No, that is.
And I will never ever see it. And do you know what was I just think that, like, obviously they need to advertise those shows, but I must have been watching I was watching something on, I don't know, the Player or something, and you know those ones that like show the ads.
It automatically plays the advert beforehand, you mean, kind of thing.
Yeah, and there was like a couple of months ago, I don't remember what I was watching, but the ad that used to constantly come up was It. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to be sitting here watching fucking, you know, The Chase and have to deal with watching a minute of looking at the fucking clown with a stupid balloon.
I like that. It's like the tax. You want to use the RTE player. Well, there's a price to pay in fear.
Yeah.
You pay, fuck the TV license. You pay in fear coupons.
Yeah.
We capture it.
Terrified
and furious.
and raging. I just think that they have enough information about us clocked up that they know that I'm afraid of clowns. So do
You're like-
not put that ad on when I'm watching it.
That's true, man. So what happened to Big Brother, huh? What happened to the fucking them knowing all of
It's
our
not there to
information?
fucking protect you anyway. They're like, oh, you're scared of clowns? Clowns! I bet you all over my Instagram now after this will be fucking ads for clown shoes and
Clown
shit.
related shit. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
we have said the term clown quite a
Yes,
lot.
like, a lot.
Clown. So that's the scariest thing that happened to you. So 2 clown encounters. Very good.
Yeah.
That'd do it all right. That'd cement it. I think it's that first one though, the clown with the hammer, that really pushed you.
Yeah.
That's what started it off. Fucking Tommy wasn't that good at all at clowning around. He didn't realize he was building on years of clown fears.
Yeah.
So that's your main
Thomas was
fear.
having a crack, and I was having a panic attack.
Yeah, that sounds like a lyric from a fucking Boomtown Rats song.
Doesn't it? Some fucking Green Day would write, like.
Yeah, there you go. You're like, yeah, this is good as long as it's fast with a big guitar. Don't stop and think about it for too long.
Yeah. No one knows
Um,
what you're saying.
Something just popped into my head. I was like, imagine if Little Sugar Dick turns out to be a clown. Like, imagine if that's one of his hobbies.
Oh my god.
That'd be a real test.
I think
of your
he knows.
relationship.
I think he knows I'm afraid of clowns.
That's why he hasn't told you he's secretly a professional clown. That's why he's keeping it a secret. He's all in his feels about that right now, Julian.
I need to go make a call.
Honk honk! Hey hey hey!
Yeah. Is that what your ex-girlfriend calls you? Sugar dick?
One of my ex-girlfriends called me that to annoy me, yeah. I mean, she didn't call me every day, but she did it for like a week where I was like, we're finished now. This is the end. I'm not in public, like she'd shout it out when we were in fucking Starbucks or somewhere. There's Sugar Dick, there you are. I was like, hate you.
Love it. So good.
Yeah, that's it, man. Andy, he's hiding it, man. He's hiding it from you. You're gonna open the closet one day. You just be like, "Where is that?" Which is just fucking rainbow wigs and big shoes and red noses fall out on top of you. You know,
that
you
is
feel
terrifying.
terrified and hurt and betrayed. You know.
Yeah. I trusted you.
He found a picture in his wallet of him dressed up as a clown with his ex-girlfriend, the sword swallower, or the fucking the geek who bites the head off chickens or whatever. It's just the betrayal, Andy. That used to be a job. That'd be a great job now, biting heads off chickens. Gas. People would pay you to see that.
That's
Hey, man.
nasty.
Hey, if I got paid more than a fucking tenner an hour to do it, I'd do it. Do you know what I mean?
If you got paid more than 10 an hour to do anything, you do it.
This is very, very true. Fucking biting heads off chickens is not the end of that category. That's only the start of the list of
Fucking
things I do for £11 an hour.
For €10.10, I will do anything.
You bring it on. Bring it on. Bring on the chickens. Bring on the clown wig. Bring on the mask of my own face.
What's the scariest thing that happened to you then? I don't think anything scares you.
I mean, I'm not...
Commitment.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You know?
Human contact. No.
I wake up, you know, wake up in the middle of my night and then turn over in bed. Is it a skeleton? Is it a werewolf? No, it's my wife. We've been married for 3 years. And then but it's the double nightmare thing where you wake up, oh thank God, it was just a dream, and then and then like there's a tug on the bed sheet and it's like, Daddy, and I'm like, no, oh, I've got kids as well. Yeah, that's probably the real fear. I do have a phobia. It's not. I don't think it's the same as a fear, but I have a needle phobia. Like if I look at needles going into an arm, I get dizzy. Like.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I don't. It's funny because I'm not. I do say I'm not just splitting hairs because I'm such a raging macho man, a powerhouse of masculine energy. But
Sure.
it doesn't feel like a fear in the sense of like being afraid of, I don't know, danger or something, because it's like it really is like almost I get like nauseous. But if I don't look, it's fine. But if I actually look at it, it freaks me out. And I found this out when I was in whatever fucking must have been 5th class or 6th class in secondary school, and they just had a video on about, you know, the normal CSPE or whatever the fucking thing. The teacher is just like, look, guess what? It's another video day because I don't get paid enough for this bullshit. And it was a video about drugs. Hey, are you thinking about drugs? Well, drugs aren't cool for the following reasons. You know, they'd be on the street in fucking tracksuits being like, hey, Danny, why don't you tell us about drugs? Because we're like, you're 40. Like, why are you dressed like a fucking 12-year-old? You're 50, like, trying to be down with kids.
Taking whatever role you can get.
That's it, man. See, now I know. Now I could be in one of them videos. Oh, it's a big break, you know? They're providing coronavirus prevention videos for kids that I'm in, pretending that I'm fucking 12-year-old. But yeah, and it was like about whatever, needle drugs, and I was just watching it, but I didn't know I had this phobia, and I like fucking nearly passed out in the class. I was like, miss, I have to go out, and then like as soon as I went out the door, luckily it wasn't when I was in the room, I actually like kind of like fell down, passed out, and I thought I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know it was that.
What?
I was like watching that, and then I went out and I was like, and then I went to the bathroom, whatever, came back, and then like I was like, oh, I feel grand again, and then went back in again, and it was still like needle, and I was just like, oh fuck, man, I feel weird again. So I was like, I didn't even know I didn't even put it together initially. So that's very. So I think of that as being really a phobia. So I do have a phobia, but then in terms of fear, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to me? I think I probably blanked it out. You know what I mean? There's definitely been a couple of times where I've nearly been killed by something like a bus or a car or fallen off of a cliff. But then your brain just goes, fucking can't keep thinking about that. Yeah, so I'm trying to. Did anything scary happen to me? Yeah, I mean, well, it's sort of funny. It's not that funny. It's not. I was gonna say this is slightly in the realm of the like. That's not what I meant when I was looking for a funny story. But I did. I woke up when I was living in Ulahuktuk in Canada. I woke up. I got super drunk, and I woke up in the middle of the night. Needed to use the bathroom, and but the room was pitch black, like pitch black, and I didn't remember where I was. Like I didn't know where I was, and I couldn't find the light switch. I was walking around the room trying to find the light switch for about like 12 minutes, and it was scary because I suppose I hadn't been there that long, but like I had no sense of what the shape of the room was. I didn't know like where I was. I didn't know who I was, and I really needed to piss. So I was just like, it was like a very it was such a scary feeling because I couldn't find space or time. So, but then I found this like, I was like, oh, thank God I'm here. So
that happened to me when I was in my last day in New York City of my J1. Were you looking up at the skyline in the picture that's now on the wall of your room? Single tear. I went out with like the lads that I worked with, and just got fucking super, like the most drunk I've ever been in my entire life. And then I woke up the next day, not where I was staying. Right. I had no idea.
Elsewhere.
I was just in a room, but I couldn't find my glasses for ages, so I couldn't see. My phone was completely dead. There was no windows. I was in like a basement. There was no windows. This might have been the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, actually. I was just in a basement, and I was like,
there were 3 clowns in there with me.
Loads of spiders. So I couldn't find my glasses for ages. So I didn't know what time it was, didn't know where I was, couldn't see. Then I eventually found my glasses, and there was like a clock, but like it was one of those like digital clocks. Thinking about that now, I should have known what time it was. But I was like, it was like something like 9 o'clock. But I was like, I'm not sure if that's 9 o'clock in the day or 9 o'clock at night.
Right. Yeah, it's still, I mean? Yeah.
I was just to be like, where the fuck? And I was so hungover. My God, like sweating, shaking. I was like, I might throw up. My head is so my head is pounding, and I have no idea where I am.
That is scary, man. That is scary.
Yeah, it was terrifying. But then it turned out that I was at one of my coworkers' house, and she came in like 10 minutes later and gave me an ice lolly, and she was like, they lived in Times Square, So she was
Very
like, "You're in
nice.
Times Square," and I was like, "Oh, grand." So then I went outside.
You're like, it looks way nicer in the pictures. This is
Yeah.
shite.
This is a bit dark. But then I left her house with an ice lolly, and I had to go all the way back to Queens, which takes fucking forever,
It's a long way.
literally. And like it was like 30 something degrees, and I was like, I'm gonna die. This is the end. This
I
is
do-
my last.
I like that she gave you an ice lolly and just fucked you out the door.
That
That's
thing
brilliant.
It was the only thing that saved me was the was the ice lolly. Oh my god, sitting on the subway eating the ice lolly, like I'm gonna die. I'm going to die.
That's rough, man. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse, man. Than
It was not, I never want to be that hungover or drunk ever again.
the hangovers are bad, right, wherever you are, but a hangover where you have to travel the next day, you have to go from one, like we had this when we were in Amsterdam trying to get out of fucking Amsterdam. Like just but even then that was when we were high as opposed to being hungover. Like when you're hungover and you actually have to go like long distances on transport, it's such a nightmare, man. You just feel like you're in purgatory forever, whatever mode of transport just shuffling you around. It's the worst. It's the worst.
That's like why it's so bad. But when you're on a night out, like you're about to go home or whatever, and your friend is just like, "No, get to my house. Just get to my house. Have another drink. You can stay at mine." And you're just like, "Never. I want to be at home." For the shit show that tomorrow is going to be.
Because because when you go with them, you're gonna wake up on the floor the next day on one of those, those like pressed fibered floors, like in student accommodation. Like it's barely a fucking millimeter thick, but it just give you a rash. You'd like wake up with your cheek on one of them. Just next to like a pint glass full of cigarette ends, like
lovely.
Like, because you can, as soon as you're like, let's go back to, you're just like, your brain is already there. You're like, that's where I'm gonna be now. That's it.
And then you have to go home. Oh my god. Oh, it's grim.
It's the best. It's the best. The not the walk of shame, like the walk would be grand, like the endless sort of rattling public transport of shame. It's too hot, especially if it's too hot. Too hot's the worst.
What's wrong with me.
If it's too hot, that's the worst.
Oh my god, I nearly died. Like
if it's raining, it's actually not as bad because you're kind of dehydrated, so you're just like fucking it cools you down a bit. But when it's hot, man, hot.
Because all you want as well when you're hungover is a shower. So I guess the rain kind of helps with that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Which isn't now. See, there you go, full circle, Gillian. Background to showers, huh? Background is your.
Look at that!
Look at that.